guys, come and make some stickers with me today. I started by designing these stickers on Playground, which is a new app I discovered, and it's quite fun. You start with a template and then you change it however you want. And so by the time you're done, they can be quite different from the original. Once your image is in Cricut, you create a sticker. Click on the image, click Create Sticker, choose Die Cut to cut all the way through, and choose the border you want. I'm going to choose none in this case since my image is a color image and doesn't really need an additional border. If I were to choose thin or standard or any other option, I would then have a chance to choose the border color. Hit apply when you're done. Now when this goes to the printer and the Cricut to cut it, it will cut all the way through. And if it were one where I wanted a outline around it, it would have that as well. This one here has that, and you can see I put thin. So it's barely a little white around that color. I'll show you when they're done printing. Next, we're going to hit Make. I've loaded 1 page of sticker paper into my printer because my printer likes to grab 2 pages of sticker paper at a time and print half on one and half on the other, which then ruins both. So I just load 1 sheet at a time, which is a little more inconvenient, but it's worth not losing all the material. When you're ready, click Continue, which is the green button down in the right-hand corner. It will bring up an option for Send to Printer, and it goes 1 page at a time. I like to print each page and immediately cut it before moving to print the next page, just in case my connection is lost, and when the images reload, they could be in a different position. So I'm going to send this to the printer. I use this dialog box, although you can opt out of it, because I like to use my printer options, which gives me the options to print at the highest quality. So I hit Next. I select my printer here and how many copies I want. Then I turn off the bleed and I click to use the system dialog. When I click Print, I'll get a pop-up. This is for my printer. Here is where I could tell it to print the best that it can print versus normal or draft. And I want it set to best. So mine is currently set to best. If we look at the preferences here, print quality is best. Without doing this pop-up, you can't choose the quality of the print. I'm going to hit Print and wait for it to pop out. Once it's done printing, I bring it over to my little workspace here, and I have 4 different types of hologram paper that I typically put over it. This one is a bunch of dots. This one is like pieces of confetti. This one is plain, and this one is stars. So I choose the one I want, and in this case, I think I'm going to go with the dots. And I'm going to just peel the back off and lay it on here. Now, there's a lot of waste, and sometimes I try to cut it down. But honestly, I make these so fast and in such great quantity for my business, I don't have time to do that unless it's at least half a page. At the end of the day, these cost about 9 cents a page, so about 3 cents a sticker or so. So I don't have the time to do it if it's not more than at least half a page. So let me do that. I found the best way to apply these is to fold back the backing on about the 1st inch of the page. Then I like to actually just stick the edge of the sticker right on the table to hold it in place, of the hologram one, the top, and put my sticker paper as close up to meet it as I can. Then as I pull this off, I'm going to use my felt squeegee to be on the underside to push it. So I'm going to pull with my left hand and push with the right, and it's going to be a nice smooth transition. Let me show. Okay, I apologize. I couldn't actually show you because I didn't have enough hands, but here it's still stuck to the table, and it doesn't have to be straight because you're not going to use the whole. The holograms are usually longer than regular paper, so it's okay. Once I did this, I just make sure everything is down nice and flat. And then I peel it off the table, and you have to fold this over onto itself. And the reason is because if you're putting this in Cricut and you just try to stick the hologram to the mat, on the top anyway, you can do it on the sides or the bottom, but if you try to do it on the top, it will not read your lines properly. I think it thinks that it's reading a longer page than what you really have because it starts at the top to measure. So if it's at the bottom, it's okay. If it's at the sides, it's okay. But having that extra sticker at the top is not okay. When we turn it over, it's going to get cut off. And even if it doesn't get cut off, it's just stuck to the back of the sticker and doesn't prevent the use of the sticker. All right, let's go get this on the mat. All right, so I've put this on my light grip mat, but it's a new light grip mat, so it's a little stickier than I'd like it to be. But be sure to get it right in the corner. Make sure your edges are lined up. That's important. And then normally I take my brayer and I go down I go over all of it, but since this mat is so sticky, I just do these 2 edges right now. As the mat wears and gets a little less sticky, I will go over the whole thing with the brayer because it really does hold it down nice. Next, we're going to put it into the machine and start cutting. I've clicked done. That was on the pop-up here on my computer. And now I'm going to check, this is the screen that comes up next where we check our material. And I'm going to check printable sticker paper, white with green liner printing. I bookmarked it so I remember which one it is. After that, I always choose more pressure when I'm cutting because I want the sticker to be sure it goes all the way through, and more pressure is not going to hurt my material. Next, we've brought the mat over to the Cricut, and we need to make sure it's under these 2 guides. Sometimes I don't get it under one guide, and then it will pull it in Cricut. Your light should be flashing now to feed the paper, so go ahead and press that. And it will take it in. It first measures the mat and does some things. Be sure you have your fine point blade in. If you're like me and you do other things with your Cricut, make sure you have your blade in and not a different tool. Now the go button is flashing, so we're going to press that. It's going to take a reading off those black lines. If those didn't print on your paper, you'll have to reprint. It uses those black lines to know where your stickers are located on the page. I should mention that the older Cricuts, like my Explore Air 2, will not do hologram paper. They'll do stickers, but they have to be plain. I tried to find a way around this, and then I found it's right in Cricut's website that the Explore Air 2 could not read hologram stickers. This should cut through the first time because we placed it on the more pressure. Like I said, more pressure isn't going to harm your sticker paper. It just it's going to make sure it goes through. It may not be necessary, so if you forget it, don't panic. If nothing else, you can do a second cut prior to removing the mat, and I'll show you. All right, at this point, before pressing that button, I always check to see if my sticker truly cut, and I do that just by bending my mat and making sure the sticker lifts. Now this, sorry, I'm holding the phone. This mat is really super sticky, but I can see the blue through it. So I know that it cut. But I haven't moved my mat. So if it didn't cut and I needed to do it again, I would just press the go button again, even though it's not flashing. But this is good, so we're just going to hit this to eject the mat. Remember, always turn your mat over and peel the mat away from the paper versus peel the paper away from the mat. I'm going to use 2 hands for this because my mat's really super sticky. As you can see, the stickers are just falling right out. I didn't even have to pull them. Well, I'll have to give that one a little push. And here's the end result. It's pretty, huh? Thanks for watching today, and follow me. Give the video a like. It helps my numbers. Thank you.